Hi there, my name is Tim Nielsen. I'm a Columbia Bible School Outdoor Leadership Guide, and today I'm going to be walking you through the layering and clothing that you'll need for a 7-day backpacking trip in coastal BC or Washington in the fall. We're going to start working our way from the ground up. So starting with our hiking boots. These are backpacking boots, not light hiking boots. We want something that has lots of rigidity and that's not very flexible because we'll be walking in varied terrain with a heavy backpack. We want something that's at least ankle high, that comes above the ankles, and we would prefer something that's full leather or full synthetic. If you go with anything other than full leather that's been treated, it needs to have a Gore-Tex or equivalent lining. Please test these before the trip because it's very essential, as blisters could be a trip ender if they get bad enough. Inside those, we're going to be carrying 3 pairs of socks. We'll be wearing one. We'll have another pair of hiking socks to switch out with these, and 1 pair of socks for sleeping. These ones don't leave the pack during the day unless it's an emergency. With our boots, just because blisters can be an issue on a 7-day trip, we'll pack 1 roll of athletic tape or hockey tape. Both work equally well, but that's going to be essential if we start to get any hot spots so we can prevent blisters from forming. The guides will have first aid kits that will take care of any more blister care than that. One essential piece of kit that you have for a coastal trip is a pair of good quality gaiters. These should be of a waterproof material, such as Gore-Tex or similar, and they should be easy to get on and off, and it's important that you've tested them to fit over your boots and equipment before the trip. We'll be moving on to the legs segment of our layering system. So depending on the day, we'll start with a pair of boxers or underwear. We recommend two pairs of boxers for guys, and ladies, you may wish to take a few more pairs. It's also going to be nice if you have a pair of long johns or long underwear. It's very essential that none of this clothing is cotton because you will get cold and wet with cotton. On top of these base layer or the boxers, depending on the day, 1 pair of synthetic hiking pants with a very minimal waist that won't get in the way of your hip band of your pack is nice. The zip-off function is a nice option so you can save the weight and don't have to carry any pairs of shorts. On top of that will be your final layering piece for your legs, and we recommend a full Gore-Tex pant or other equivalent. It's essential that this has been tested and is still waterproof. This is going to be a key item if it starts raining on the trip, which it may well. One optional item is a pair of nice lightweight shorts that you may wish to swim in. Just make sure these don't weigh too much because we might not need them for the trip. So they're a luxury item. Ladies, if you're going to be swimming, it's recommended that you bring a specific swimsuit and like top and bottom or whatever you prefer for that. We'll move to the upper body now. So to begin with, we'll take at least 1 lightweight synthetic t-shirt. We prefer t-shirts with a zip so you can dump heat if it gets too warm up there, and a light color is nice if it's sunny. On top of that, or if the day's a little bit cooler, we'll have a nice synthetic or merino wool base layer top. We prefer, again, that quarter zip with that high collar to keep the heat in. Go lightweight with your base layer because you can always layer up, but you can't layer down easily with your base layer. On top of your base layer, you'll have something, we're going to have something that's a light shell or insulating layer, like this soft shell jacket from Arc'teryx. A simple fleece jacket will work fine as well. There's no need to go spending $300, but this is just a nice piece to have. After the weather gets bad enough or we get into camp and we're a little bit chilly, it's important to have another layering piece to put on over top of that. So we prefer a lightweight packable synthetic jacket. This piece, they make lots of synthetic and down insulating jackets. It's really important for a coastal trip that you choose the synthetic version, because once down gets wet, it gets very cold and it's very difficult to dry. And on top of all that, you need a good rain shell or hard shell that will keep all of that dry no matter what the weather. So we trust Gore-Tex the best, but if you've tested your jacket and you know it's going to work for a couple of days of rain, that's fine with us. But just be aware this is going to be on quite a lot this trip if it does start to rain. So make sure this is really a good piece, because that could make or break your trip. Make sure it has a good hood as well. We're going to move up here and talk about our hands. Now, we don't need too much insulation for our hands, but if you happen to know that your hands get cold easily, you may wish to bring more than one pair, but for the rest of us, one pair of lightweight synthetic gloves is going to be just enough. These, we want them to be nice and lightweight so they dry quickly, and we want to avoid materials like leather or cotton, which will, if they're wet, they'll stay cold and they won't dry out well. For our head, for our neck, we'll actually want a buff, which is like a scarf. I don't have one to demonstrate here, but you can look that up online. We'll want at least one toque. We prefer lightweight toques because we have all these hoods on our other layers to layer with. You'll want one lightweight sun hat. Synthetic is preferable, but any sun hat will do. And we'll want a good high quality pair of sunglasses. We prefer polarized sunglasses, a brand you trust, but any sunglasses you bring will be fine for this trip. Along with that, for some other sun care, we'll want some lip balm that's UPF rated for sun, and we'll want a little bottle of sunscreen. We're going to move over here to some optional items. Just down here. So when we get to camp and we're getting into our sleeping bag, if it's been pouring rain for a couple of days and all our stuff has got wet, it's nice to crawl in to our sleeping bag with totally dry clothes. So we've got that one pair of socks already. It's nice to have a spare sleeping toque and perhaps a full set of base layers, including pants and a top dedicated just for sleepwear. Now, here's one key item that is optional but very recommended, and that's a small, lightweight, packable umbrella. This will be worth its weight in gold on the trip if it starts to rain for a significant period of time. And then one last item that I like to carry that you don't have to is a nice wind shell. This is something that many runners will wear. This doesn't weigh more than a couple of ounces. It packs down to the size of a grapefruit, but it's just a really nice layering piece to round out the rest of my clothing. To finish it all that and the rest of your personal gear, it's going to fit in a backpack. We recommend this backpack be between 60 and 70 liters. Any brand is fine, but what's key is that it fits you and that you've worn it before the trip. So if you're going to buy a new one, please email us to get any info. But it's really important that the torso length and the hip sizing is bang on and comfortable for you. No matter what pack you have, no matter what they claim, how waterproof they claim it to be, we're going to insist that you line it with a nice big, really heavy-duty garbage bag to keep all your gear dry, because there's no fun getting to camp with wet gear. And on top of your bag, we recommend having some kind of pack cover. You can buy them at any local outdoor store and they'll know what we're talking about. On top of that, you'll need other personal gear, but we'll go through that in later videos and we'll send you a gear list. Happy hiking!